Entrepreneurship is something where a problem has been solved by someone who gets a financial gain out of it. That's what your problem is all about. Your entrepreneurship is all about. But the favorite quote I have regarding entrepreneurship is, someone entrepreneur is someone who jumps from a cliff with nothing. He jumps with nothing, not even a bag or anything. But while falling down, he builds his own plane and lift off. That is what an entrepreneur will always do. That is a favorite quote of mine. Entrepreneur is someone who jumps off a cliff with nothing, but builds his own plane while he goes down and lands to a proper safe mode. So that is what entrepreneurship is, what I believe. Coming into a concept of problems, an idea, everybody has an idea. Everybody in this school or college system or even in working space, everybody has their own idea. But the real problem is, execution part is going to be a little difficult. People don't know how to execute that idea. People don't know how to convert that idea into a product which is more sellable. So that is where we are going to focus on right now. Let me tell you one example. How many of you experienced it? Raise your hand after my question. My mom used to tell me, like, keeping cooker in my gas, in our house gas, and say, like, turn the cooker off after 4 whistles. How many of you experienced it? Please do raise your hands. Okay. Okay. Nice. So basically, most of us, all of us would have experienced it. Like, someone in our home would have said, like, turn the, like, gas off after 4 whistles are done. I used to go consider myself as a referee for a match or something. Like, I go and stand in front of it and start counting one, two, and three. But ultimately, I forget it. I'll forget, like, how much whistles has come. My mom would shout from outside saying, like, I said you to turn it off at 4 whistles. We are getting sixth whistle. Please turn it off or something like that. So this is a potential problem. Everybody faces this problem. Out of right now, in the small discussion forum itself, everybody has faced this problem. What if there is a device that could turn off automatically the gas whenever the whistles has been reached? Like, let's say 5 whistles. If there is 5 whistles, I set 5 as an input. Then after 5 whistles, the cooker will turn off. So that is something we need to give as a solution. So a potential problem which can give a potential solution on an financial gain. So which will give out profits out of it is what we are going to discuss all about. So what I'm trying here is, entrepreneurship is not something very complicated. It is kind of solving a problem which regularly engineers does. But here it's going to be on a little different way, which includes financial. Engineers are going to be technically done. That's it. They do technically works, technologically works. But an entrepreneur, technical works, which is also problem with the financial output of it. That's what it completes the entrepreneur as an engineer. Okay. Before going into the complete session, I just give you 1 minute of time for you guys to ask any kind of questions which you have in between before we could go on. Because based on that, I could start giving you inputs instead of me giving you random inputs. I'll give you 1 minute. You could type or you could ask me any kind of questions before we start, or your expectations can. Yes. Do you have any questions or expectations before we start?
You can put it in chat box.
Yes. Nice. How do I find niche problems without becoming an expert in that field? See, every problem, every entrepreneur would have been in the place of that problem before they solve it. Like, let's say, for me myself as an example, when I was in my college, I had a lot of supports from my college, but I don't know what to do when I had an idea. So let's say I have beautiful ideas, but I don't know, still I don't know whom to go and approach, because I had some hesitations or something like that. So in that case, guide me to develop that idea into a product is what my startup itself. So basically, every startup founder will be an victim of the problem itself. In your case, like, let's say, you could have been, like, let's say you wanted to develop an application. Let's put it in that way. But an application which problem you have faced, like, to put it as a simple example, another example, We all wait in bus stops for buses. The buses which we require, which we need to travel, will never come to the stop. Other than that, all other buses will come. So basically, here, what if there is an application that should give me details of, if I put the bus number, that will give me the track of where is the bus is, at what time it will reach this location or something like that. So you should be the first victim, or you should understand the victim's situation of a problem, that you have to think in a way to give out a solution. That's how it works. I'll put this way basically. Let's say uh, let's say a watermelon. Okay, its cost is somewhere around 10 rupees. Let's put that way. One watermelon, overall one watermelon piece, not 10 rupees, let's put it as 50 piece. One big watermelon costs around 50 rupees. I am buying it at 50 rupees and I'm selling it at 60 or 70 rupees with 10 or 20 rupees as profit. That is proper business, as a regular business. Like, let's say I'm what I'm doing right now is, instead of giving it as a whole watermelon, I'm slicing it out and putting into 10 different slices and selling each slice at a cost of 10 rupees. Now what happens, my cost of selling is going to be altogether 100 rupees, because I have 10 pieces. So 10 pieces into 10 rupees, it's going to be 100 rupees. Now the profit I have made is, from 50 rupees spent, I have got 100 rupees. So 50 rupees I have made as a profit. There's another way again. Each slice, I'm going to put watermelon juice and I'm going to sell it at a price of 40 rupees. Now what happens, 10 rupees, I bought it at 50 rupees, but my selling cost is going to be somewhere around 200 rupees, like 400 rupees, because 40 rupees into 10 slices, 40 juices, it's going to be 400 rupees. This is how you need to catch your market, or you need to understand the model which you are in. So you need to be victim of a problem. That victim will be able to give out a proper solution. That's how it works. Hope I gave you an answer, Pratik. Okay, nice. See, basically converting an idea into a product doesn't have difficulties in it. There are only five processes basically. One is identifying the problem. That is the first major thing you need to do. Problem. First is the problem. Second is a technology or the methodology which you are going to do to solve the problem. Like, let's say for cooker whistle, automatic cooker whistle, I said you let's consider that is the problem. So we have identified the problem, that we have to turn off the cooker after three whistles or four whistles, whichever the user gives. So basically what we have to do now is, we need to we have identified the problem, we have to give a solution for that. That solution is going to be technology way. So we have to tell, I'm going to give inputs, so we need a keypad. With that inputs, it's going to be processed to the controller, which will turn off the induction stove. So we are going to use an electric induction stove right now to do the process. So we are going to use Arduino, a controller basically. Let's say on a smaller scale, let it be an Arduino or a Raspberry Pi or ARM processor, whatever processor we want. That processor connected with an input device, which is going to be a keypad, that gives inputs. From that, it will go to an end device, which is going to be a relay to turn off the induction stove. So we have derived the methodology for it, the technology which has been used in it. So that is the second part. Third is, this is converting into a prototype, then getting into the market, or harvesting the idea, allocation of resources. That is what the third part is. So in the third part, what we have to do is, we have to basically think on how to utilize the resources. Like, let's say one basic sensor, the keypad, it's going to be somewhere around 10 rupees. Let's put it that way. If it is going to be 10 rupees, how we are going to use that 10 rupees cost to be incurred in the product, and how we are going to use someone who's going to solder it, who's going to sell it, and all those kind of things. We have to use the resources, allocate the resources properly to convert that idea into a prototype. In your case, it's not going to be big resources, because we are itself going to be the resource person who's going to do the project. So basically, first point, identifying the problem. Second point, upon identifying, so giving a solution with the technology or like any methodologies. Third is resource allocation. Fourth is finance allocation. Finance is obviously primary key factor for an entrepreneur to be. They need to be primarily more enriched in that kind of in that kind basically. So you need to have a basic understanding on finance, how it works. Then last is getting into the market, understanding the customers, Upon understanding those customers, how we are going to refine or resell the product. That is what primarily important. Okay, so five process. One is identifying the problem. Second is solution. Third is resource allocation. Fourth is finance allocation. Five is scale up. Basically, customers and scale up is what five-step process. Is there any questions towards this? Is there any questions towards this? Like the five process of how to convert your idea into a proper product. I'll tell you few examples how companies are captivating us and all those things. But before just getting into that little fun-oriented thing, I just wanted to put some serious thoughts on it. I would like someone to just say like whether it is fine, understandable or not. Okay, nice, fine. Fine. So the next thing what we are going to do is we are going to address how companies have been captivating us, how companies have been making us to buy a product. I'm just opening a question. Like let's say, how many of you watch IPL matches? How many
How
of
many
you
of you
watch
watch
IPL
IPL
matches?
matches?
Yes, am
Yes,
I
am I
audible? Am I
audible?
audible to you all? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Nice. Fine. So for every over, there is going to be a break in between. That is somewhere around 30 seconds break. Uh, what happens in those 30 seconds? What do we see? What do we see in the 30 seconds? You watch IPL matches, right?
Advertisement, sir.
Yes, we do see ads, right? So can someone put a guess number of what will be the cost of those advertisements? What will be the cost involved in those advertisements? Okay, I'll tell. For 1 second, it is somewhere around 1.8 lakhs. For 1 second, it is somewhere around 1.8 lakhs is what the cost for ad to publish the ad, not for making. Making cost is completely different. That involves huge. To publish the ad or to display the ad, they have to pay 1.8 lakhs to the broadcasting company. So what happens here is for 1 second, why should they spend 1.8 lakhs? It is because one idea a product will always be bought even before going and getting into the market. We actually buy that product in the mind itself. Like let's say, name any one coffee powder brand which gets in your mind right now. What is a coffee powder brand which comes to your mind when I say coffee powder? Please do put it in your text. Put it in the chat box. What is a coffee powder brand which you get in your mind when I ask as a coffee powder? Okay, brew. Nice. Others? Nescafe, nice. Okay, so most of you would get the product as brew or Nescafe, or someone will have Continental or Levista or something like that, right? Now, this brand has been sold to you in your mind even before going and buying the product itself. When I go to a shop, like let's say I wanted to make a coffee, when I go to a shop, I go to the shop and ask, I need coffee powder. I don't ask coffee powder, I ask the brand name. Give me Nescafe Sunrise 50 grams, or give me brew coffee powder 50 grams, or something like that. Which means even before buying the product, I have actually bought the product. That is what the concept is all about. So an idea will be commercializable, or like will be is revenue generating only if it is bought in the mind rather than buying in the actual place. So same way, IPL ads involve this much of cost just because of making it get into the minds of the people. You see continuous ads. What happens in your mind? The ad will be registered somewhere across somewhere across on the mindset on that particular product. Like, let's say if it is going to be shoe, someone would have a Nike, someone would have an Adidas as a brand. So every product we want to get, it is associated with the brand. That is happening only through marketing kind of thing, the visual marketing kind. I'll play a sound. Please do tell what is this sound is all about. I'll play a sound. Please confirm what is the sound. What is the sound is about. Can someone identify what is the sound of a sound means? I'll play it again. Yeah, not audible. 1 minute. Is it audible now? I'll play it 1 minute. Did you guys hear it now? Okay, nice. That is Netflix sound, right? By the sound of by the sound of a product thing itself, we were able to identify the brand. So that is how we need to get into the customers. Basically, getting into a customer in the sense they should remember the brand by any means. It can be a sound, it can be a visual, it can be any graphics or whatever it is. It should represent the band and you will always remember the brand. So basically, companies wanted to penetrate in the mindset of the people, that we need to do using only these kind of marketing aspects. So a company will work on three different perspectives. One is operational perspective, the second is sale, branding, marketing perspective, the third is getting into the scale up process, scalability and high future projects, something like that. So three aspects will be working. Operational is completely different, but the marketing part is what primarily dominant in a company, because it's going to make the company alive. Only upon getting funds or only upon having funds you will be able to, actually run the company. So that case, whatever you do or whatever brands you see is always about marketing. I'll tell you about one example. uh, do you guys know what is the tagline of Horlicks? What is the tagline for Horlicks? Can someone, do you know a brand called Horlicks, right? Like, do you know what is the tagline of Horlicks? Yes, please. Taller, stronger, sharper. Okay. Now let me put you this way. Do you know why taller, stronger, sharper instead of tallest, strongest, sharpest? Why not tall, strong, sharp? Why it is taller, stronger, sharper? See, basically, to adapt to the brand itself is what this taglines is meant for. uh, I will say, like let's say my mom could say my son is the taller guy. uh, my son is a taller guy than the other guy, or like my son is stronger than the other person, or something like that. Even your mother also can say the same statement, which means the brand is suitable for every customer within the aspects. So that is why they have made it as a taller, stronger, sharper. See, grammatically we cannot say it in a sentence, but when you say separate, tall, strong, sharp, so that is actually a tagline. But why taller, stronger, sharper is anyone can actually accumulate it with themselves, or like they can actually think or put it in persuade that is their own thing, and they could say. So that is why comparison statement has been used. Any brand you take, they have that kind of concepts to basically persuade or to captivate a kind of a consumer. I'll put this example. When I say just do it, what do you get in your mind? Just do it. What do you
Nike.
think?
Nike, sir,
Nike.
Nike.
Yes. So, which means that is how you have been captivated basically. So, whatever product you take, the ultimate goal is to sell it. To sell it, we actually need a base, small, an emotional connect with the consumer. That emotional connect should always solve a problem too. So, two types it will be: solving a problem and connecting with connecting emotionally with the consumer. See, these both are the primary pillars of a proper startup. So you need to also connected with emotional. You should also solve the problem. So any brand you take, they'll always play with emotions basically. Like in cooker case, let's say they would say it is very tedious to clean when a cooker comes out of it, like cooker whistles out and gives out something like that, or if it gets more overcooked, it is very difficult to clean it. That is an emotion. The pain of doing it is an emotion. Then the product will be actually marketed as reduce the pain, reduce the difficulty, something like that is what they will market it. So what I'm trying here is solution with emotional connect will make a brand or a product to be more sustained. This is what simple logic about a brand association or a brand cultivation or a brand upcoming for your product basically. Okay, looking at the technical part, uh, how do a company can survive in a market is upgrading itself with the current technology. Do you guys know Nokia? Do you guys know Nokia? I'll put it in chat. Yeah, Nokia is a popular cell phone brand, and that was earlier in 2006 or something like that. There were more Nokia phones than toothbrush in the world, basically. So that much of Nokia phones were actually sold. But right now, Nokia is not even in the smartphone industry. They don't even they are very little in the industry. They have very little share in the industry. What I'm trying to say here is that company was huge initially, but they started to decline based on one small thing, that they didn't adapt to the upcoming changes. So a startup or a company or a business will sustain only when if it adapts to the current technology, or it should forecast what is going to be the future technology, and based on that it should actually define itself. Then only it will be able to sustain. Otherwise, it is going to be very difficult for the company to sustain. Okay, so that part is kind of little always focusable area. You need always to be more focused on the technology you are using, that technology, what problem it is solving, how the end user is more comfortable while doing it. That is what we primarily need to look on. Okay, now before the next part, is there any questions? I am looking for a lot of questions. I don't want to give what I wanted to deliver. I always want some questions. So is there any questions from your end? Any kind of question. It need not be mandatorily technical. It need not be mandatorily related to entrepreneurship. Anything that would you feel to ask someone, as in your neighbor guy or something like that, you could ask related to your career options, like you to make it better. Okay, I understand. I really understand that. Why do you think the company fails even after adopting technology? See, a company fails on various factors. First primary factor is always the cash. uh, you could have a beautiful product, but if you don't have the cash to burn, then it is no use in having a beautiful product. You could have a beautiful product, and you could have like a lot of funds too. But if you don't have a proper team, again it's going to be a fallback. You have beautiful team, you have beautiful product, and you have good funds, but if you don't have a proper leader, then again it's going to be a failure. So what happens is, if you have adopted a proper technology which is in current, or if it is going to be future, but if you have a proper leader who could guide the team, and if you have a proper team which could execute it, and if you have proper funds to do it, these all factors are some summation, or like they all add together to the success of the company itself. So most companies fail because of this: either cash burn, or like no proper team, or no proper leader, and finally no funds, like no new technology. If either or the one is ticked out, like if either of the one is not satisfied, then obviously there's going to be a declination. So what I'm trying to say here is, these are the key factors. I'm not saying others are all not needed. Others are all needed, but these four factors are key factors which need to be present in a company so that they can sustain.
Sir, hello, sir.
Yes, Pradeep.
Hello. Sir, exactly where does the company fail, sir? Even after adopting the new technology, you say that
Hmm.
uh, already they have like invented a new thing with a lot of cost. You know that already the loss of cost has been already taken into the consideration, sir, for to adopt a new technology.
Hmm.
So even after that, you think that there is a disturbance between the distribution channel or marketing itself, sir. Like they fail to market the product. Like that, I'm asking, sir. Where does
Yes,
the
yes.
product fail exactly? I'm asking, sir.
See, that is what you could have a beautiful Ferrari done, but if there is no customers, then what is the use of building a beautiful Ferrari out of it? So, what you need to have is a customer. To do get a customer, you need to have a proper marketing strategy out of it. How we are going to sell the product, and who are our target customers. I cannot sell laptop bags to you if you don't have a laptop. So I need to identify the potential customers. I need to approach them in different ways, not just directly approaching them. That is where your ads and campaigns and your affiliate marketing works, your posters, banners, and all those things works in that way. So it is going to create the visibility of the product. If the product is visible, and if there is a really a good demand for the product, then it's going to be sellable. The real problem is, primarily, even though there is a new technology adapted, if you're not marketing it, it's not going to work. And if you don't have a cash to actually market it, then again it's going to fail. So marketing is a key element. I always say that marketing is a key element of all factors, but what majorly also needed is the funds to run the marketing stuffs, and run the team to do the marketing. So to put it out, 4 points: and adapting new technology, you need to have a general marketing team, or a team properly to execute, a leader who could actually guide, and funds obviously to do it. All this together, if you have, you'll be able to play in the marketing well. You could give some campaigns, you could give a freemium model, you could give them as a test trial model, something like that, and get some customers. Feedbacks, improvise, get some feedbacks, improve it, then again give it to the market, get feedbacks, then again repeat the process, improve it, give it to the customers, and repeat it. So that way your product will be much well executed. uh, Basically, that might be well, but again, there is no monopoly concept over here. There can be market share, higher market share, but there will always be a competitor. Let's say earlier Airtel was high in market share. Now Jio is in high market share. We cannot say that Jio's monopoly. Only Jio SIMs are available. No, there are SIMs available. Like in Airtel, it is available. VI, it is available. So something like that is always going to be available. Yeah, lesser competition. If it is not, see, any product, most people will buy because of the solution it is giving to them, or based on the emotion it carries with it. Let's say Nike, just do it right, like Nike. What makes Nike people to buy Nike? Can someone give an example? What makes people to buy a Nike?
Hello.
It is not solving a problem practically, like looking outside.
Yes.
Internally it has a lot of other features, but I'm saying about, from an outside perspective, it is a shoe. Why should I go for an Nike rather than going for a normal shoe? aspiration related to, yes, kind of. So basically it's an
Hello.
emotion connected. Nike is doing
ಅಲ್ಲ
something
ಅದನ್ನ
better and
ಡ್ರೆಸ್ಸಸ್
I wanted to be part of
ಹಾಕ್ಸೋದಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ
Nike is
ಒಂಥರ
making
ಆಯ್ತು
me an
ಸ್ಕರ್ಟ್ ಗತ್ತೆ
kind of emotionally connected to the product. Same way goes for any brand. Why do people go for Apple products?
ಹೌದು
Even though it's a premium, even though it does not have better features compared to like
ನನಗೆ
Android,
ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಮೇಡಮ್
why people always go for Apple products? Why there is a huge craze for Apple products?
ಹೌದು
Psychological factors, okay. Psychological factors mostly involved here, that is what psychological factors, in the sense I'm always meaning emotion as a part. Emotion in the sense, it can be pride as an emotion, it can be happiness as an emotion. So anything which is basically an emotion which is carried to the customer, that will make the customer to be more loyal to the product. So psychological factors
ಚೆನ್ನಾಗೈತ್ರಿ
is in common called as an emotional factor over here. It's not directly psychological, it's emotional factor over here.
ಓಕೆ
So anything from an idea based level, first question you always need to get or you need to revise is, will I be using this product as a customer? If I am a customer and if someone is trying to give me this product, will I use it? If I'm going to use it, what is the gain I'm going to get out of it, and what is the money I'm ready to spend on it? If you ask yourself as a customer, you'll be able to define most of the problems out of it and you'll be able to solve it. So what you have to do is basically first identify a problem and get some solutions out of it, like basic solution, and consider yourself as a customer. Say, like, yeah, I'm a customer. How, will I buy this product? Yes. If I'm going to buy it, what is the cost I'm going to give out of it? Something like that. We need to revise ourselves. Then, okay, this is the product which everybody needs. I need it, my friend needs it, the other guy who is sitting here also needs it. So we need to define in that way. Then we have to develop the product and get it to the market. For development, it's going to be kind of hardware or software, whichever it is. You need to define a methodology for it. This is how it's going to work. This is the first process, this is the second process. It's going to be in that way. No, see, there is a kind of an complex, or like kind of an hesitation with people, or there's a mindset with people. Product with the lower prices are like kind of cheap products, rather than they don't think it is an affordable product. They think it is a cheap product. So what happens is, even though the product is little priced less, but if you have a higher price product on with a brand name or something like that, people will always go for it, because when you have an higher price, people's mindset will always think that is a better product. So that way, I don't believe lowering the price is a good strategy to make customers stay. I would go with better approach rather than lowering the price. Yeah, anything something, any question, something like this? See, in lower price SKUs, we could build a brand, but on a different note. See, you need to always address two type of customers. One is premium customers, the other is regular customers, which in the sense everybody, accessible to everybody. So you always need to have a product which addresses both. Let me tell you this way. Uh, do you guys know Arun ice cream? Have you ever heard of something called Arun ice creams? Okay. Yeah. Have you ever heard of something called iBaco? iBaco ice creams? No. Okay, fine. There is something called iBaco. That is an actually Arun's own product. Arun ice cream is a product of Hudson. You know Hudson milk and Hudson curd kind thing, right? Have you ever heard of that? Yes. Arun ice creams are by like products of Hudson Group. So what here happening is, Same company is differentiated into different terms, making you to buy their product in different names. I'll tell you one more example. Name any two chips packets, chips products, like Lay's or something like that. You name any two brands. You put it in the chat box. Lay's, okay, 2M, Bingo. There is a product called Kurkure. Have you ever heard of it? Yes, Lay's and Kurkure are from a same company. It is from a company called PepsiCo. So what I'm saying here is, most of the brands you take, they are under one roof. Phones like Vivo, Oppo, and one more brand is again under a brand company called BBK Electronics. So something like that is what I'm trying here is, any product you take, it is not just one it is actually one company which is putting it in different names. So that you will be the customer sort of. What I'm trying here is, as in a product or as in a seller, you have to address both customers. You have to address the regular customers, and you also have to address the premium customers. Your product should have differences out of it, basic differences, so that you could address both customers, so that you could also convert your regular customers to the premium customers too. So that is the way you have to basically think on. So this is what a very small little idea about how to convert your idea into proper products across. I'm just opening the session for a question aspects, because it's been I'm alone talking. I don't want this to happen. I want you guys to question me if there is any questions before we wrap. I want you guys to ask questions. I'm open for any kind of question. I'm opening the session for a question forum. I'll summarize at the end. If you are after your questions, I'll be able to summarize what I'm trying. Insight from a company or startup, build a SaaS for them. Okay. See, you need to understand. See, you don't have to build a SaaS product for one particular company. You have to build a product which every company could adapt. Otherwise, you will fail. Like, let's say you give a product, you give your product to the company. That company can understand how your products work, and let's say let us build it by ourselves. Let you leave. What will happen to that? So you don't have to build a SaaS for a particular company. You have to build it as a product which can be utilized by every company in the product, every company in the market. It can be some services which is a common addressable one. For example, every college conducts placement drives. Okay, what if there is a product what if you could develop a product which could manage, maintain, and run placement drives for college, something like that. So it is not going to be only for your college. Your product will fit for your college, but it can also be fit for every other colleges in India, basically. So your product should be defined in a way, or understand a problem which is in every company, decide a solution, make a solution, build a product for it with the solution you have defined. That solution, give it to a company, plug and play there, work over there, take from there, give it to another company, they could use it. So you'll have multiple clients across. So I'd prefer you to go for a product based solution, rather than building it for one company. And you need to address the problem for yes, it need to be customizable. See, in our ways, we have a product. Those products those products we need to actually address across, and we give it to various customers. We need to give customization to each customers or something like that. So it works in that way. You need to customize it. Yeah, anything else, something like that. So your product should be actually customizable to every customer. So on a very minor level, it should not be completely revamped. It includes a lot of resources to do that. You have to build a product which is customizable on a higher level to every customers across, like putting my logo and having a different unique point which I regularly practice in my company or something like that. So it is customizable, but you need to address the majority of the problem and give it to them, only then it will work. Hope it's clear, Pratik. Yes, any other such questions? Uh, on Shark Tank, yes, we are planning to apply, but we have right now in the process of scale up. Like we have been raising an investment now. Right now, we are going for a seed round, so we are already in the process. Not into the Shark Tank. We have never applied for it, but we have raised investments across the global investors and been in that position already. We are in scale up. We will be able to deliver much. And if you are really interested to be a part of us, and we will be happy to take you with us. There is already one student from Basaveshwara who is with us as an Alpha CEO kind, who is going to run Spacey in Bagalkot itself. So something like that. If you are ready to associate, we are happy to take part of it. Yes, something like that. Any other questions? Yes, I'll be happy, Pratik. We could discuss. Anything else, guys? Like before I would like to before I summarize it, is there any questions from your end? Okay, guys. So anybody has a question? If no, then I'll summarize it. See, basically, an idea, everybody has an idea. What is the real problem is the feasibility of the idea is what major problem is. We executed a beautiful idea which was not in the not across the globe. Nobody has done it. We executed it, but when we went for a market, we understood that this product is not going to be used by customers at all because there is no need for it. So you could have an idea, but you need to understand whether there is a requirement for the product. If there is a problem which is required by multiple customers or multiple people or multiple users across, then come to a solution. That solution you could actually based on technology or technicality give it as a solution. After methodology, work with the methodology, prepare a proper team, with that team you could actually execute it, allocate resources, after upon allocation of resources do further steps. So one minute please. So I'm extremely sorry. I'm extremely sorry. So to summarize, an idea need to be feasible. Only when it is feasible or sellable, you will be able to give it out. So you need to understand whether there is a requirement for the customers. That is the first step. Then take up that problem, which is being addressed by multiple people. After that, give a solution with the technicality. After that, allocate resources for it. Build a proper product or fine tune it. Upon that completing fine-tuned product, go for the next one, which is getting into the market or allocating finances, marketing and stuff. Then increase the market share. Go for a bigger scales. So that is how you need to follow. That is how I followed. That is what every startups are following. So you have to start with the idea which is needed by everyone. Give a solution. That solution should have some technology which is very recent or forecasted with the future technology. Then resource allocation, then financial allocation, then scale up. After customers usage and feedbacks and improvisation, go for the scale up. That is what the process is. And primary key factor for a company to run is always sales. Focus on marketing. A guy will be too much technical. They have a beautiful product, but they will not make any one sale at all in a month or in a year because they are bad at sales or they are bad at marketing. You need always to focus on marketing. You need to always have a beautiful product which need to be sold in a beautiful way. A small product or a not very good product can also be sold in a beautiful way. A beautiful product can also be sold in a very parodical way. Both can happen. Ultimately, customers are the deciding factors. To get into the customers, we need to have an emotional connect with them. That's how we need to take up a product. So this is what a little summary about how to get into the market, how to penetrate the market. Whatever. So basically, you need to identify. You need to identify a customer and then give out the solution for it. That's what you need to do. So ultimately, any idea can be satisfied based on that. So this is a small I just wanted to convey to you. Anything across, anywhere across, you need have some idea, you need to develop that idea. Please do call us back. We'll be able to support through the management, and we'll be happy to guide you on developing your own startup too. So that's from my end. If there is no question, then we could wrap it up. Yeah. Ma'am, if there is no question, then we could wrap it right now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. So, guys, please let us know if there's any questions.
You can even chat the chat box if you have any questions.
I could really understand because it's an online session and always people have hesitation to ask questions. So I can really understand, but I'm just putting this way. Only upon if you could ask questions, then we'll be able to deliver more to you. If there is also any other further questions, please don't hesitate to call us from through your management. We'll be able to support you in that way too. So yeah, it's always nice to get connected, and I'll always be happy to be back to Bagalkot and BC College. So I'm just waiting to come over there. Once I come, then we could also meet in person and discuss your ideas or projects and take forward all this.
So I had a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So any idea, any thought which can be brought into the product. So how to start with and how to find a basic funding system so that it can be brought it into a product and then go for something like business or something.
Yes,
How
ma'am.
to start?
There are
Starting problem, I
there
mean.
are yes, ma'am. There are three methodologies for that. First is actually going for an early investments as a pre-seed investment kind, where they give you funds for ideas which you have. That is, we could go for that pre-seed investments. Or there are a lot of governmental schemes where you pay us money. There is something called IVP, Innovation Voucher Program, where if we submit an idea, they give us 2 lakh rupees to develop an idea into a product. So that is also available. So that is the second part. Third is there are a lot of such kind of schemes where you give an idea, they give you funds to develop that idea into a proper prototype, only for a prototype. Upon completion of the prototype, they will give you one more 5 lakh rupees for building that prototype into a business itself. So IVP, it's called as IVP program, Innovation Voucher Program. So that is it is the process. The second is third methodology is we have to build a product with our own bootstrapped funds, gain some basic customers, then go for the investors. So that is how the second model will work. So first, going for pre-seeds investments. Second is governmental schemes or like any schemes to get funds. Third is basically bootstrap. We need to put some basic funds to have a prototype, because earlier investors directly put you money if you have an idea, but right now investors looking for ideas with a good consumer base already. They don't want a fund for idea. They wanted to see a prototype or working model or an MVP to fund it. So it is always advisable to start a very small MVP kind, then go for investment aspects. So that will be advisable basically.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions from the students, participants? One question.
Yeah, see, it is little different. I could address that when I personally visit the college. It is kind of a little very skeptical process. Kind of, we don't have a interview or something like that. We look if you are interested. We look if you are really, really kind of connected to the vision which we are carrying. That's what we see. We don't even see resumes kind. So my team would literally kill me for saying these things. So basically, I'll address how we are hiring, and maybe when I come in person, let me try to grab 2 or 3 persons as an intern for a company to work in your space itself. When I come in person, let's have that kind of process also. Hiring is very simple. You need to be hunger to learn. You need to be having a PhD, passion, hunger, and dedication. If that is there, then we are ready to take you in. That's it.
Not our PhD. Okay, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
So yes, ma'am. This is from my end. I'm eagerly waiting to visit the campus in this. Upon our discussions, let me plan a date and get back.
Yes,
We
yes.
could plan it and execute.
Yeah. So no
Okay,
more
ma'am.
questions? No more questions, right? Okay, then we shall wind up this session. So
Yes,
I,
ma'am.
on behalf of our Bashvesh Engineering College, wholeheartedly express my gratitude to Mr. Hariharan for taking his valuable time for more than an hour, I think. So being a
Yes,
part
ma'am.
with us and given us the basic idea about how to uh, bring any kind of ideas to the product and how we can make it to penetrate into the market with some simple examples, some analogies here and there, and that makes the interest of how best we can think about into this entrepreneurship field. So thank you, sir. With this, we shall wind up now, and
Yeah,
thank you
ma'am.
all the dear participants for being with us. And maybe a couple of days, I'll be sharing with you the certificates. So with
Sure,
this, I
ma'am.
thank one and all. Thank you, sir.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all for being patient and listening and asking beautiful questions across. I'm eagerly waiting for you all to meet you all in the campus. Let's meet in. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for this opportunity again.
Yes, sir. Thank
Thank
you,
you, ma'am.
sir.
Bye, guys.